So given your willingness to take on controversial topics, I think you've also been involved in some sort of visible blogging of late.
Yeah.
I wonder if you want to kind of address
Sure.
some of the issues that you take on in that blog, and maybe what contributions and how you see it contributing to the broader discourse about history or about politics.
It's the digital age, and historians.
I'm a medievalist. I don't.
I'm a medievalist too, but we are
After
gotten.
the printing press, there were no important inventions.
Well, that's how we used to think, but that's starting to change. There are, in an age of social media, a story written by a journalist about the Middle Age that can be riddled with errors, can be shared 100,000 times, or maybe 1 million, depending on who they're writing for. And guess what? Everybody adopts that view of that topic of the Middle Ages. And so at the time, I remember I was giving these local media interviews, as I mentioned before, and I would occasionally get an email from somebody locally or maybe somebody at the college, and they'd have a question. They'd want more information, or maybe they'd disagree, or maybe they'd politely disagree, or maybe they would agree, I don't know. But they'd want more information. And because I was great on the historical background, but I had to always study and prepare for the modern context, I would literally write up these essays at night, and I figured there's people asking for more information. I'm writing essay after essay. I might as well just make them available online. And that's essentially what I did. I polished them and started adding them to a blog. But then I also incorporated historical essays, on topics that interest me, and interesting people that I know. I would do profiles and ask them about controversial issues in some cases. And I started having fun. It became a hobby. And the first year, I think I had 5,000 readers, so not exactly a popular blog. But this year so far, I've got over 60,000 with a few months to go, and I just started it a few years ago. And as you were saying, historians, when we write books, how many people, read that book? And so social media and this new technology, there's a lot of debates. To what degree do current PhD students need to have a social, a presence online of some sort? And because the ones who are seem to have a broader audience, for their arguments, their ideas, and so on.
Do you think that the work that you do on that blog gets sort of washed away in all the stream of other kinds of commentaries and culture wars and all the other things that we see, or do you think it makes some sort of difference in the overall discourse?
I don't know. I think it makes some sort of difference to a small number of people who like to read it regularly, and who want to go to a historian. And the thing about it is, like, some event can happen that has a particular historical context that I'm familiar with, that I have expertise in, and so I can blog about it the next day, and maybe offer something that's worthwhile on that issue. Whereas if I tried to publish this with an academic press or something, how long would that take? It'd be a year and a half removed. I mean, yeah. And so it offers the public access to scholars, and there are a lot of academics who do this, But I'm not saying that a lot of people read mine. When I brought up 60,000, I wasn't bragging. There are academic blogs that have millions of readers. I'm very much a small fish, But still, that number is alarming when you consider what we normally reach in these discussions. So anyways, I can tell you though, with social media, Facebook pages, Twitter accounts, blogs, more and more PhD students are embracing this, and it's becoming a new way to start to shift discussions and conversations. And of course, the sober traditional historians who write those masterful works that influence, scholarly fields, don't go for that very much, and so a lot of times what I blog about is their work,
Well, there's sort of an interesting point that you're making here. On the one hand, we talked about, I asked you about whether or not you saw the historian as having a particular role, and yet here you are.
I know. Well, that's why I said I'd want to think about it. Because I think the production of history, just to clarify, I think the production of history should be done within that Ronchian bubble, as much as possible. And that's the qualifier, the important qualifier. But then once it's produced, and once it's a done matter, and you've written a book or you've produced scholarship, based on original sources and so on, then at that point, if you feel someone's misusing that scholarship, you have as much right as anybody else to say so.
To engage in that.
If you want to. Not that you have to, but if you want to. And don't think I engage everything. I don't. In nearly 3 years, I've published 96 blog posts. What's that come out to? Maybe 2.5, 3 a month. There are other people that blog every single day. And so I just occasionally, once every week or two, I write something up from my blog. So I just wouldn't have the time otherwise, But on some issues, I do want to.